Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams Midwillamette. For all your real estate needs, go to teamgillette.com. And thanks to D. Scott Smith and Veronica Jeans and their book Freeze in Action in the Face of a Business Crisis. For more information, go to stopinaction.com. Ta-da!
And here we are.
Woohoo! Welcome to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. And we're so blessed to have you here this morning. Whether you're watching live or on replay, we are here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. And Scott, my tremendous co-host, there he is here to make me look good and make me sound good. How's it going, Scott?
Hey, it's a great day. You know, we were doing the backstage, and right before the backstage with live with Russ and Scott and Shri happens 6:30 on Pacific time here on Instagram only. The power had gone out right before that, and it was reminiscent of show number 1, season 1, when I woke up to the power. At least the power has come back, so I'm excited for that.
Well, that alone is good. I am so glad that your power's back, that you are able to function. It sounded like a little bit of chaos outside your place this morning. So
our building has a security on it, and so you use your little fob to unlock the door. Well, turns out the battery backup system for that wasn't working, so I had to go down and block the door open so my wife and our dog can come in, and the neighbors, because everyone was blocked. Everyone was out is locked out of the building. So anyway, hey, the good news is, so here's some news. So my son-in-law coaches a semi-pro football team. Their season opener game is in Boise, Idaho this Saturday. So we're going to be driving over on Friday and be there for Saturday. So anyone that is in the Boise area, I would love to connect up, as my wife says, in 3D. Then on Sunday from Boise, I get on the plane and fly to Atlanta. And so I'll be in Atlanta Sunday night, and Monday morning, I would love to connect up with anybody that's in the area, Jim Fuse, and be able to say hi. Then I'll be driving down to Dothan, Alabama, spend couple of days there with Travis Perry, my client, Cord Buddy, and Shark Tank winner. He got a deal with Robert Herjavec, so it'll be fun to see him again live. Then driving up to the Madison area, I'll be able to run into Catherine Lang and anyone else that's in that area. Then up to Nashville, then back home the following Monday. So anyone that is on that route, please, let's connect up. Just go to LinkedIn or dscottsmith.com. My contact information is there, and let's get together for a hashtag Russ selfie.
There you go. You got to do that even without Russ. I don't get to make this trip, but I just made an incredible new friend that is in Georgia. I don't know exactly where she is. She's the super mom, Lachelle. Yesterday afternoon, oh my goodness, mother of 15, an amazing conversation, loves Jesus, just an
Mhm.
amazing woman. And so anyway, it was great. So maybe, who knows, maybe you'll get connected with the super mom before you go over
Hey,
there.
that would be great. I would love to do that. I'm excited about it. I'll be in Nashville because we've got our the Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind group. We have our live in-person event there that'll be over this following weekend. But anyway, I'm just taking advantage, doing a mini American road trip. So Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and looking forward to that time.
Well, that's amazing. And, I was just communicating with David Osk this morning. He's such an amazing friend, and I'm thankful
Yeah.
for you. He's also part of Iron Sharpens Iron.
Mhm.
And what an amazing group that is. What an amazing group. So,
Yep.
well, listen, I'm super excited about this week. Well, about some things this week. Some things this week I'm not as excited about, but I'm
I
keeping a
hear you,
positive
Russ.
attitude.
We have been praying for you and your family.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I am just trusting that all things are going to be good. And we're going to start off this morning. Susanna and Jason are here with us this morning, and we're going to bring Susanna on first. And she has got such a bright smile, and I'm just can't wait to learn more. So here she comes. Good morning, Susanna.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm delighted to be here.
Well,
Yay.
we're so glad you're here. I mean, what a blessing to have you on. And I am just I'm a lifetime connector. So, we've only known each other now for 15 minutes, but now you're stuck with me as your friend. We're lifetime friends now. So Susanna, hey, listen, tell everybody about the amazing things you're doing. And who is Susanna?
Okay, well, thank you for this opportunity. So, currently, my main role is the founder and executive director of the Foundation for Family and Community Healing. We're about 4 years old, a nonprofit here in Richmond, Virginia, and we're seeking to address the crisis that we are seeing and experiencing in mental, emotional, and relationship health and resilience. And this is something that I have been observing in my community for decades, something I've experienced myself in my early years and to some degree beyond. Um, and been wondering, like, how come we're not doing more to help people with their psychological, mental, and relational wellness and resilience? And so, um, even before the pandemic, really, I was viewing this and um, decided, after experiencing a personal life crisis and a spiritual awakening, that I really needed to put my focus on this issue, because I know that these are skills that are teachable and learnable and also
Mhm.
scalable. So we have an online educational platform that helps people develop not just the knowledge, but more importantly, the skills they need to change their lives, become more resilient in all areas of their life, especially the areas that are being overlooked for the most part by our schools and workplaces, and that can help address this mental health, emotional, and relationship health crisis we're experiencing, not just in the US, but around the world.
Yeah, it's the pandemic didn't cause this, but at least it helped shine a light on the need, because the need has certainly been there. I know for the past 6 years, I've been on the board of Friends of the Family, which is relationship counseling. It's a nonprofit organization, and don't accept insurance, so it's all a sliding scale, and it's all about fundraising. Because relationship counseling is so critical. It doesn't matter how successful you are in the other aspects of your life. If your relationships stink, life is hard.
Yes, and money does not protect you from mental
Mm-mm.
illness either. Um,
Right.
and we know from the science of well-being that relationships are really foundational and central to our ability to have a good life. Um, and not just, how we feel, but also with our what we would call success
Right.
and resilience.
Yeah. Well, I think that is so amazing what you're talking about there, Susanna, because the whole idea, I'm a big connection community builder guy, bringing people together because we are better together. And it starts
Yeah,
with ourselves, our own mental well-being, our own health, and taking care of ourselves. And, we need to take care of ourselves so we can bless and help and take care of others. And
absolutely.
I'm going to bring in our next guest to join the conversation because Jason, again, an amazing individual. And yes, he is definitely a connector. Good morning, Jason.
Hello. Give me a second here. Sorry for the background noise for just a few seconds there. It'll be
Well, we don't
gone.
hear anything. You're all good.
You're
Okay.
all fine. Yeah. Well, I
I
was
mean, what
blessed.
background noise? That's what I mean.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? What are you talking about? Well, Jason is not only a seasoned podcaster and live streamer. I've been blessed to have a couple conversations with him and be on his show. And Jason, give everybody a little snapshot of who you are and what you're up to.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing this whole video, film, movies, corporate events thing, for 30 something years now. Jumped in front of the camera for the podcast you've been talking about starting in 2015, and really as just a fluke marketing initiative kind of thing when I was still back in Dallas. I'm in Colorado now, and fell in love with it, honestly. All around those things that you've just been talking about around connection and meeting people and connecting people together. I during that same time, I just realized that this is what lights me up, and it's just oxygen to me. So I'm doing it in any way that I can, and I've got a couple of shows right now. One is Strategy in Action, where I interview coaches, consultants, or people who are resources for those folks. That's kind of my ideal client base as well. And then I do another show called Concentrix with my good friend Gary De Rodriguez, and we're all, the whole show is all about alignment and a lot of Susanna, just what you've been talking about, right? That mental component. Gary's an amazing coach around healing past traumas for folks, and he's actually got a whole certification that he's doing. And those are the kind of conversations we have over there that I put together because it's, selfishly, I get to talk to Gary every episode and have those deep, fantastic combos.
Yeah, I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head there. The whole idea of really lighting you up around what you love to do, it's because you love people, you're like me, and that is really what brings you good mental health and brings you stability in your life is that connection and building that community and then adding so much value. And Susanna, that's one thing I think that when people come together, they're able to help, add value, and heal together through life's ups and downs, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's so much better together, and not only because of just sort of from a practical standpoint, like that peer learning is a really powerful um, way to learn and grow because we learn from each other, but also we can create a safe space and help to normalize. But also just being in relationship is what gives us so much meaning and purpose in our life. So if you were to study callings, the callings tend to be centered around pro-social activities. So how does this benefit others? And having that sense of meaning and purpose in our lives and being able to positively impact those around us is also so central to our well-being.
Yeah, exactly. Scott?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't want to get too far away. I don't want to wait to the end for people to hear about the online components that you guys have, because being able to access help is so critical. So, Susanna, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So thank you, Scott. We have an online platform again to help people develop the skills and behaviors they need to transform their life. And it is in the area of mental, emotional, and relationship health and resilience. And we have a growing number of modules that are available 24/7, and also on a gift economy because We believe this is a human right, that we all have the right to thrive, despite regardless of our economic level. And so we offer this learning to individuals, nonprofits, and government agencies on a gift economy. So pay what you're able. And if that's zero, then that's fine as well. You're welcome to join. So we walk learners step by step through this behavioral change on a beautiful interactive platform that's more of a storyline format. You scroll through it and you interact with the content as opposed to just a bunch of passive videos for learning.
I love that.
Available for youth
gift
and
economy.
adults. Yeah, it's available for youth and adults, and learners can participate in the learning either on their own if they prefer, but it's really, like you said, best when done with others, with maybe a mentor, a loved one, a teacher, or a parent, or a friend, or in a group setting. So it's ready-made content for facilitation and mentoring.
Someone's barking. I just remember, I was just thinking about the gift economy, and back in the 80s, of course, the movie is out right now, the Jesus Revolution, and Keith Green was a singer. He was a part of that, of the whole Jesus Revolution. And back in the early 80s, he released an album, and he said, we're not going to sell it. We're just going to give it away. So people just, you just tell us, you want the album, we'll send it to you. And if you want to pay, go ahead. And it turned out that the money that they collected for the ministry was double what the retail price would have been for similar albums at the time.
Well,
And
I
so
want to
people really come forward.
I want to jump on that, Scott. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say that I think that when you have the right heart, like Susanna is got here, is definitely, because it's what you're all about. And Jason, we were talking about on your show, I always say life happens and then you choose. We all have choices, and going to groups and organizations that are going to be a blessing to our personal self and our self-image and our mental wellness is important. And part of that is just coming together, right, Jason? Just coming together and making a positive impact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to be invited to a lot of these groups now, and just finding a lot of them made up of folks who haven't done that so much before, and they're maybe coming together for the first time. And I've been very fortunate to have an amazing core group of friends for forever, that we that's what we do, is we have those conversations and we talk and we get in deep with stuff, and hey, what's going on? And I've learned more and more, especially on the male side of things still today, that's kind of a rarity, and I've gotten some new insight on that, and on, hey, we need to shine a little bit more light on this, that, hey, you can be a man and actually have feelings and talk about them. That's always been second nature to me and the people in my life, fortunately. But it's just not always the case. And it's absolutely critical.
Yeah, we mentioned that I'll be headed to Nashville for a live event for the Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind. I've been a part of that group for 4 years, and you meet every week, and it's all on Zoom, but it's amazing the depth of relationships that you can create. And that type of organization, whether you are join one or I encourage people create one. You can create your own group and make sure that you avoid isolation. And I think, Susanna, you can talk more about what devastation that is when we isolate ourselves, even when we're surrounded by people.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not an expert on that, but you're so right. And I like to refer to our Surgeon General's book called Together. I think it's called Together, and he writes about really the loneliness pandemic. And interestingly, he wrote it was published in 2020, so it really must have been written before the pandemic itself. And as you said, the pandemic really just shone a spotlight on the problems that were already there. So I think that's one of the blessings that that it's come above ground, and I don't know if this is a blessing that, it reaches what feels like a level of crisis, because it means then that hopefully we will start to pay attention to it. And I feel like the data is showing that more and more people are recognizing that wellness is much more than sleep, exercise, nutrition, and stress management, that we really have to get further beneath the hood for people, and attend to that mental, emotional, and, and even relationship health and wellness. And the tools are available. So, I mean, it can be overwhelming because, like, what do you mean by that? Like, a lot of people are like, what do you mean? Um, like, people don't even necessarily think of a relationship as a thing. And, it is its own thing. And if we don't recognize it as an entity, then we can't nurture it and make sure it's healthy. But the tools are available now, and Foundation makes it easy for people to form their own groups. They can just access a module and it walks the group through it, whether they're trained facilitators or experts in the subject or not. In fact, it's designed for people who are not experts.
I was going to say that I think that a lot of times people just need to start with the basics of coming together. I have a show, shameless plug here, tomorrow, Russ Reels Live, which will be at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's all about self-care and mental health. And it's some doctors and non-doctors and people coming together talking about it affects everybody. Our mental wellness is critical to everything that we do. And Jason, I know that you, especially being blessed with a good co-host on your other show, you see that a lot in people. And a lot of times they just need to open up, be a little more vulnerable and a little more authentic about the fact that, yeah, they're really struggling in certain areas. I've been the first to open up over this whole cancer battle that I'm going through, and just to be able to help keep my mental positive attitude on track by all the support and things that I get through that. So Jason, talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it's so tough because unlike, if you break your leg and you're in crutches now, it's obvious. You walk in a room and people understand, oh, they need help in this way or that way. And good friend of mine, Anshar, he's been on my show, and he has autism and is a big advocate for it. And he talks about this idea of, it's the hidden stuff, right? Because we can't see it. And if you don't communicate what you're going through at all, he's very good at, like, early on in a conversation, like, hey, here's me, right? Have autism. I've been nonverbal, I was nonverbal till like age 11, and all these things. And he brings that up because there's certain characteristics that come out because of that if you don't know any of that is there, then it's, this guy's rude, this guy's interrupting me, this guy's doing this. And when you can do that in any way, if any struggle like you're talking about, if you can communicate that, then that line of communication and a relationship can actually get born and foster. And I do feel this gratitude that the world is open to this more than ever and allowing it in. And it's, even at a big corporate level, the accommodations that are being made, and maybe some is just like, oh well, we have to do this still, but it's happening and we're moving that direction. And it's it's just so needed and important. And the more that we can have conversations like this around it, so that it's not just, oh, I heard this term and this person has it, but what does this mean? What's their daily life? Because they look like everything's fine, what's really going on back there, and having that awareness is huge.
Before we got here, when we were in the green room, Susanna and I were talking military, and we have come a long way, but we have a long way to go. So when I think back to the Vietnam veterans who were coming back, and society really didn't acknowledge mental health issues as much as today. And so a lot of those veterans returning didn't get the care or wouldn't take the care that was available. And I know the veterans that we have today, they still have those same issues, but at least as a society, we're acknowledging it, and we're providing it, and we're making it so that it's okay to accept that kind of medical treatment, right? But we still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm going to jump in here because being the responsible host, I've got to start the process because I want to give everybody plenty of time. But, you two are such a blessing. This is a conversation that we could keep going for hours on. But what I really would love is to give you both a last opportunity. Give us your gold nuggets of the day, what you want people to remember about our discussion and all that you do in your business. And then how do people get in touch with you? Because I tell you, Jason and Susanna, people are going to want to get in touch and learn more about both of you. And we highly encourage that. So we're going to start ladies first again. And Susanna, you're up.
Well, thank you. I I just want to remind everybody that our mental, emotional, and relationship health and wellness can either be an asset or a liability. And when we are fragile, we can downward spiral throughout our lives. But the reverse is also true, that we can reverse and spiral upwards and access all of our gifts and capabilities and sense of wellness and peace and connection. And these are learnable skills. So come check us out at healingedu.org and try some of our modules, or even better, contact me and we can help set up your workplace, your school, your community organization with the tools that you need to thrive and prosper together. You can contact me at Susanna at healingedu.org, SUSANNA. We look forward to connecting. And thank you, Russ and Scott, for this show. And Jason, great to meet you.
Yeah, you bet. Well, and all of your connection information as well as Jason's is already in the show notes, and it will be in the comments as well. And it's flashing underneath as we're all talking. So, Jason, you're up next.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway I hope people get is that this is a learnable skill, like you say, Susanna. Like this is, and that's okay, because I think so many of us just like, well, yeah, I know how to talk to people. I know how to be a human and have relationships and all of this, just because we can and we've had some form of it, right, our whole lives. And being okay with the fact that this is something to get better at. It's something to be purposeful with, and it is a skill that you can go and improve. It's just fantastic. So for me, I help folks with leadership level content, that they doing stuff like this, jumping in on video and making sure their expertise comes across on video. Best place to find me at all the links and the shows and all that fun stuff is thejasonCroft.com, and that'll link you out to all the LinkedIn and all that fun stuff.
The Jason, I love that. The
That's
Jason
right.
Croft. Yeah,
There's no other.
No imposters.
The one and the only. Yes. Well, Jason, Susanna, thank you so much. What a blessing you both are. There's so much more we could go into, and we'll be talking to both of you again. And I appreciate, my next wellness and Russ Reels on this topic. Susanna, I'll have to bring you in on that one, talking about mental health and all of that as well. And Jason, what a blessing you are. Thanks so much for both of you being here, and we'll see you both soon. We're going to send you to the green room, but hang tight for just a minute. We'll be right there. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya. Well, Scott, oh my goodness, that goes fast.
It's always, I always tell people we have the most remarkable people on the planet here on the experience. And today is, again, just another example of people, Jason and Susanna, choosing to live a life that makes a difference, right?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
This is fabulous. What have you got going on before we sign out here?
Well, let me think. The positive things that I have going on.
Yeah, we know you got Russ Reels coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show tomorrow.
That is what I'm really excited about, the Russ Reels, and I've got an awesome, of course, marketing with Russ tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, just blessed on all of the amazing people I'm able to meet. And I want to encourage all of you, reach out to Scott and I if you haven't, because we're all about building community. And, we're so blessed to have so many great friends that are not only on screen, but in the comments. And just an amazing thing. Our good friend Russ Johns is reminding us all about hashtag 1000 thanks. And,
Mhm.
I'm huge on starting your day with gratefulness and thankfulness. And, I think that is great for your mental health. And as Russ always says, hashtag kindness is cool, smiles are free, does not cost you. And it makes such an impact on your life. And if you want to start with good mental health and blessing other people, start with that. Be kind and smile. And so super excited. If you want to join me tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Marketing with Russ, and tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Russ Reels Live. Love to have you there. And what a blessing everybody is here. Scott,
Yeah,
thanks so much.
I just want to give a couple of shout outs. I mentioned on the board with Friends of the Family, so FOFM.org, and they have a lot of great resources there about relationships. This is a good week for me because I also have I'm on the board with Uplift Leadership, which is providing working with high school students to help them with leadership, giving them economic skills, and really looking at underserved, underrepresented populations within students. So I'm excited to be a part of that. We've got some programs coming up. So upliftleadership.org, people can read about that. Tomorrow morning, I'll actually be in another board meeting for Extra Mile Media. That's a radio station that's owned by a nonprofit, and that's always fun. So I love these kind of things and glad to be a part of it. And all of those types of I just encourage people, find those opportunities to serve in your community, and not all of them pay. But they need you. They need your leadership. They need the guidance. And so that's my recommendation. And I hope to learn more from the folks that are watching, what they're involved in.
Well, and Scott, you're a blessing. And people need to watch what Scott does, because, living life by example is the best way to influence people. Scott's amazing at that, all that he does for the community. And so thank you, Scott, for being my friend and encouraging me so much in my life.
Russ was just, I'm so glad to be here with you. And, you've just been an encouragement. And I'll just throw a shout out for the Aging Better Network coming up at 9 a.m. Over on my wife's LinkedIn channel.
Yes.
And her YouTube as well. So great discussions this morning about dealing with Alzheimer's. And so always great discussions over there.
Yes, and I'm a huge proponent of that, having both my mama and my dad had dementia at the end, but my mama had a long battle with Alzheimer's. And so alz.org, and also you can go to the Walk to End Alzheimer's links that I will put up. Every year there's a walk to support the Alzheimer's Association. So, yeah, and you know what, though, in the midst of all these things, if you want to age better, you just need to enjoy your life. Live life fully today. Don't wait. And if you need help with that, there's always Kermie that can help you out. So guys, again, have a blessed day and a blessed life. We'll be here next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Talk to you soon. Have a great day and a great life, and
enjoy the experience.
I knew it was there somewhere.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.